My name's Heather Golding and I'm interviewing Charmian Redwood. I believe you had a near-death experience and wonder, would you like to share your story with us?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. It was 30 years ago and I was in the hospital in England and I'd just given birth to twins, a boy and a girl. And at the birth I had several tears and one of them was not seen. So I had a lot of internal bleeding which got infected. And then after 10 days I had blood poisoning, very high temperature, fever. So I was taken back into hospital and I was so ill at the time that I really didn't care if I lived or died. I just wanted them to go away, leave me alone, don't ask me lots of questions, just go away. There was no fear and there was no hanging on to life. I really need to stay here. I didn't care. I just wanted peace. So the first night that I was in the hospital, I felt myself drifting up out of my body. And I'd never had any kind of religious or spiritual experience in my life before. But I knew that wherever I was going was into peace and love, and there were angels connected with it. So there was no fear at all. So I drifted way, 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 way up into this beautiful golden light. And as soon as I got there, I just knew that this is the real world. This has everything that I could ever need. This is truth, it's reality, it's absolute love. And everything down there that I'd left behind was completely unreal, illusion, and empty. So I was this wonderful golden light, and in front of me was this beautiful shining figure made of white light, and it was Jesus. And in the beginning I was going, no, I'm not one of yours, because I wasn't a Christian. And he said, no, but I'm one of yours. So I just felt this unbelievable love, unconditional acceptance, love. No matter what I'd done, who I was, where I'd been, there was just this incredible love. And I could feel all these beings around him, angelic beings, just beaming love. I've never felt love like that in my life before. So he said to me in my mind, this telepathic conversation, because your heart is pure, if you want to, you can stay with us in the golden light. But we're asking you to go back because the world needs your love, your wisdom, and your healing. Well, at the time, I was 29, I was a school teacher. I spent most of my spare time having nice holidays, playing darts in the pub, and just having a nice life. And I didn't know I had anything to share or to give. I had no sense of purpose or spiritual calling or anything like that. But I knew that where I was with him in the light was where I belonged, and this was home. And that if I went back down there, I was leaving home. So I said to him, how can I go back down there knowing that this is where I belong with you? Now his heart was this blazing blue star. It was just brilliant, clear, electric blue, blazing star. So he broke off a point of his star, and he said to me, he put it into my heart, and he said, now you will know that I am always with you. So I don't remember agreeing, but I must have done. Because the next minute I'm floating over this body that is lying in this hospital bed, knowing this is not me. This is the house that I am living in. This expanded, free, limitless being that lives in love, this is me. If I get back into that, I will be taking on suffering and pain. If I stay up here, I will never suffer again. So I'm hovering over this body, not really wanting to get back into it. But my babies were 10 days old, and I had invited those children to come. I've always loved children. So the thought of leaving my babies without a mother was not something that I could even contemplate. So I got back into my body, and it's as if everything that I had done up until then, my whole life, I was a school teacher, I had a mortgage, I was buying a house, I had a career plan, all of that was utterly meaningless, because all I wanted was to be in this love and to take everybody to have that experience before they die. Because I know that after you die, as long as you can come to a place of peace with the dying process, is that you go immediately into the golden light. People who die in resistance and pain, they have to go first to the healing places and be helped, and then they move on into the light. But if you can leave with acceptance, grace and serenity, then this is where you're going to go. So that really is my mission now, is that I seek in my life to help others to experience that feeling while they're still alive, because it completely changed my life.
Thank you. And what effect did it have on your life?
Well, I felt that I had been born like a newborn. Everything I'd done up until then, my education, everything I'd learned was of no help to me, because it didn't take me into that place of feeling the love and the oneness. So I took every class I could find as soon as I was physically able, which took quite a while. I took astrology, yoga, healing, meditation, just anything that would take me into that place. And many things did. I found that chanting, singing, sound would do that. And so when I came back, I literally felt that I had been with God, and there really was nothing else to do with my life except give it to God. I had no really other reason to be alive than to serve God. So I did. I gave my life to Spirit, and it meant for the next 25 years traveling all over the world, living in probably 40 different places. Wherever anybody was asking or needing connection, then I was able to help them. I asked for a way that I could help people to have this experience while they're still alive. And very gradually a process unfolded of using a combination of hypnotherapy, where I use guided imagery to take people to connect with their own God self. And sound, I use crystal singing bowls, because the sound, the pure sound, brings in those frequencies. So that's what I do with my life now. I travel, I teach, I do healing, I do circles, and just take people to a place where they can meet themselves as God. Nobody out there, just you are already everything that you need to be. It's inside. So that's why I wanted to make this, do this interview, because I really want people to know that they are God and they don't need to wait for anything. Just be it now, because you already are.
And can I ask, did you feel resentment towards the hospital or the doctor?
Do you know, in the beginning there was some anger, because it meant I was separated from my children. I had to go back into the hospital and they stayed at home and in their very early formative time. But you know, then I realised as time went on, it took me 10 years to integrate that experience into my life, because this was in 1980 and not too many people were talking about near-death experience then. I didn't really understand what had happened to me. But then I realised, wow, this was my wake-up call. I was only 29, now I'm 60, so I've had a lot of time to live with this different sense of values. It's all about people, it's all about love, it's not about things. You don't take any of that with you. It doesn't matter what you've got in your bank account or how big a house you have. When you go into the light, it's just how much love have you left behind. And so that's what I want to share with the people, really. How much love have you left behind? And it's in the hearts that memory lives.
And what message would you have to share with others from this experience?
Make the most of every day. Imagine that this is your last day in a body. Don't worry about what's not happening. Just focus on the love, the connection with people, with animals, with nature, with the ocean. Life is such a gift and a blessing. And in some ways, you could say that was the worst experience I've ever had in my life. But out of it, I got a new life. So I have no regrets. And I'm so grateful that I was shown what's real while I've still got most of my life to live it. So don't worry about stuff, just ask. Whatever you need, just ask for it. And remember to tell everybody how important they are to you and how much you love them. Because in the end, that's what you remember, and that's what you take with you, is your name written on the hearts of those that you leave behind. So especially in the West, we've got so caught up in our everyday busyness, and we think we have to have all these things, and we don't. We just need the people to share it with. So reach out to everybody, especially to those who live alone or who feel lonely. Reach out and just share yourself with them, because that is your gift, is yourself. So I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to share my story.